All right. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Just trying to set up my screen so I can see if there are any questions or anybody joining live. So this morning, as I was contemplating what to talk about today, something just popped into my head like 5 minutes ago about awareness. Is awareness a gift or is it a curse? How do you see your awareness of things? Are you overwhelmed by awareness? Do you want to turn it off sometimes? Do you want to not be encumbered by everything that you know? And what would it take to have more ease with it so that we could actually have it as a gift and not a curse? So this is what I thought might be fun to chat about. If you have something else or something to share or a question to ask, please feel free to pop it in the comments. There is a little bit of a delay, so I will be keeping my eye out. So I thought maybe I would start off with the definitions of awareness and intuition, because I noticed that there was a difference. And here I have my 1934 dictionary. I call it my Harry Potter dictionary. Because the definitions in dictionaries before 1936 are the actual energy of the word. Hold on one second. How to be more me. Okay, we'll get to that. And after 1936, a lot of the definitions were changed to social connotations. So that, like, you're saying a word that you think means something because of the social connotation, but the actual energetic root means something else. So like the word want, you think you're saying you want something, you'd like to have it, but want means lack. So when you say you want more money, you're saying you lack more money instead of you'd like to have more money. So using words with their original energetic meaning will help you create what it is that you are saying with your awareness. So, okay, I looked up intuition and awareness, and there's a slight difference. Let me see if I can find it in here. I have my handy dandy magnifying glass, because this is tiny font. Okay. Intuition. Where is it? There it is. So the first definition for intuition is a looking upon, a seeing, either with the physical eye or with the eye of the mind. Contemplation, sight, an indirect or ulterior view. And number two, knowledge obtained or the power of knowing. I kind of like that, the power of knowing, without recourse or inference or reasoning. So it's just this knowing, this awareness. And then it goes into the third definition, immediate apprehension or cognition, either the faculty or power of such apprehension, or a particular act or instance of it. Intuition is applied to direct or immediate knowing. So this is like where we take an awareness and we start to immediately take action on it without necessarily asking questions. Let me find my awareness. I hope this isn't too slow or too boring for you. Okay, awareness. Awareness is really simple. Awareness, quality or state of being aware, mere apprehension of an object without active attention to it. So what I get from that is that so many of us have awareness of so many things, but we think we have to act on it, but we actually don't. Like 98% of all of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions aren't ours. And if we asked a question like, is this relevant to me? Most of the things that we're aware of would fall away. How many of you wake up in the morning and perceive stress, sadness, angst of some sort? And do you remember to ask, is this mine? Is this relevant to me? Because there's a ton of people in the world who actually have that and are choosing that, but are you? Would you like to choose something different? And just because you're aware of the angst and the stress and the whatever else I said in the morning, does that mean that you need to function from that or try to change it? Or can you simply ask, what is my awareness? Where would I like to put my energy today? And how would that change your need to handle your awareness by trying to fix, trying to figure out, trying to change whatever you're aware of so that you feel comfortable? What if you could expand out beyond the awareness and have the space for you to be able to choose what you'd like to choose instead of being tied up in whatever the awareness is? It definitely takes practice to learn this. The other day, Saturday, I went to a gem show. Most of you know I'm a jeweler as well as an access consciousness facilitator. And I go to these gem shows and I buy beautiful strands of gems. Here's a strand of opals that I will be making into a beautiful necklace. They're strung on like plastic string, so it's not like you can just put a clasp on this and it's done. And I like to do interesting things with the gems. So anyway, I go to this gem show and there's rows and rows and rows of tables of tons of sparkling gems all over the place. And there's tons of people and tons of points of view. And I went there with my sister and we both walked in and were like, whoa. Like both of us have expanded our awareness. We do every day. The more you run bars, the more you run clearings, the more you expand your awareness. And so we walked into this gem show, which we haven't done in a while because they've not been happening due to the whole pandemic. And it was like so much awareness. We were confused. We were like, wow, I don't perceive myself. I don't perceive I'm in my body. We were like, wow, this is a really interesting experience. So we went our separate ways and handled it however we handled it. And part of it is just being aware that you're aware and going, wow, this is interesting. Using that tool, interesting point of view. Wow, this is interesting that I feel overwhelmed. Is that me? Who's overwhelmed? And usually a lot of it falls away when you just start poking around and asking questions, not looking for an answer, not looking to pinpoint who it is that is having these thoughts, but just recognizing that it's not you and that you actually have ease in the things that you're choosing and that it's actually fun for you, or at least it was for me to go to those shows and pick out beautiful sparkling gems to play with. And I talked to them and I'm like, who wants to come home with me? Who wants to be created into something amazing? And it's like, I'll just get pulled to one place or another place and follow the energy, which is also awareness. But we have to get like that sense of like, what is your target? Where are you going? What are you choosing? And don't fall into the pit of all of the frantic, all of the stress, all of the, I don't know what I'm doing. These are all distractors to distract you from the awareness of you. And it's interesting that you can have all of that awareness and also have yours. The thing is, it's sort of, I like to think of it as like a satellite dish. Like we have all these stations that we can be aware of. You know, there's the frantic station, the drama station, the stress, the money, the relationship, all those things that everybody has all the time. But then there's your channel. Do you ever tune in to your channel? What is the energy of you? What is your channel? And this, Cindy, is getting back to how to be more of me, is simply pondering, what is my energy? What do I enjoy? What would I like to create? And taking a little bit of space for you, even if you're in a crowd at the gem show with tons of people and lots of noise and all these things talking to me, I can lower my barriers and expand out and ask the question. And this calm comes over you, and you start to recognize, oh, yes, I know where I'm going, what I'm choosing, what inspires me. And all this noise and all this chatter and all this stress and all this drama is actually not relevant. We don't have to play in it. We can be aware of it, but we can also change the channel. So what would it take for you to change the channel to the channel of you in those situations and have an awareness of that, as well as the others? When you are aware of you, all that other stuff becomes quiet and small. And it's not something that you need to fix, handle, categorize, put in boxes of right or wrong, or I should do this or I shouldn't do that. It just gives you the space to begin to choose. And if you can't find that space in a crowd, you can always go outside. Go outside, go into nature, put your feet on the ground. That also can give you a sense of you. It's just a matter of you doing whatever it takes for you to have that inner calm, that inner space of you that you can then bring forward in everything that you do. But it's like, it's like a rubber band, you stretch it and it goes back, you stretch it and it goes back, you stretch it and it goes back. It takes a lot of practice to build the muscle of being the space of you in and amongst all the things and all the people and all the noise of the world. So how do you practice? How do you build that muscle? Well, so many ways. I tend to throw myself right into those situations. Do you do that? Do you throw yourself into a situation, or do you like hang back and don't want to do it because it's going to be uncomfortable? Like coming onto a Facebook Live of a podcast by yourself. Like in the past, that would have been like, oh my God, I don't want to do it. I'll just cancel today, instead of having a guest to chat with. But the more you practice and the more you have the space of you, the more it doesn't really matter what anybody else says or does or how they react. You're choosing for you. And so there's a different energy. You're not choosing based on other people when you do whatever you do in your life. You're choosing based on you. And that creates something completely different. And it also builds your muscle of bringing your being to the things that you're doing. So everything that doesn't allow that with ease, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, povettes, and beyonds. And every single time we do a clearing, we get more awareness. And I remember years and years ago when I was first starting Access, I'd do a class, I'd go to a foundation. I actually repeated the classes over and over every year because I wanted more. I wanted to get the deeper awarenesses that come with these tools. And so I remember going to a foundation. It was not my first one. And after that, just going home and thinking, oh my God, I have so much awareness. And it was like a problem instead of a possibility. And it's almost like, when you're, it's reminding me of like when you're in high school and you want to just complain about things to connect with other people, like, oh, this teacher is so mean, or this is so much homework, and you're complaining about something to connect with others. And so I started to realize, like, wow, having a lot of awareness is not a problem. It's actually what I choose. It's why I continue to choose more and to create more and to like be bigger in the world, to be a lighthouse. Like one of my mentors says, be a lighthouse. So what if it's not a problem? So everywhere you've decided that a lot of awareness is a curse and you want to turn it off instead of turn it up, and you don't see how you can use it for you, it's just this thing against you. Will you revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all of those points of view and open up to greater possibilities? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. Wow, that's changing something. I wish somebody told me back in the beginning that awareness could be eats, awareness could be fun, and that you can actually use it to create your life, not shy away from it because it's intense and what have you. Those times when you go out and you go to the city, let's say, and you find a meter and you only have a few quarters and you put them in and you're like, oh, that'll be fine. I'm only going to be gone for a few minutes. But there's this little tiny voice in your head that's like, put in another quarter. And you're like, no, I don't have another quarter or whatever. And you just brush it off. And then you come back and you have a $50 ticket. And then you get pissed that you got a ticket. And there's a huge amount of energy on it. But if you were to pick that apart a little bit and ask some questions and dig underneath, you'd most likely find out that you're angry at yourself for not listening because you knew. So all the times that you went against your knowing and then you got pissed at yourself, which had you shut it down even more instead of turn towards it and listen to it and have it be your friend and your guiding voice? Will you destroy and uncreate that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, pods, and beyonds. Whew. Oh, it made my nose run. Sorry. It's changing something in the world. Thank you, body, for that awareness. It's funny how if we were to learn that awareness can be our friend and it's our greatest ally, we probably wouldn't get into the relationships that didn't work for us. Well, maybe we would anyway. Sometimes it's fun to have those trauma experiences. But nowadays, that's not how I choose. I do my best to listen to those little whispers because I'm asking for a life of ease, joy, and glory. And I'm not interested in pain, suffering, gory, trauma, drama anymore. What about you? Do you listen to your little whispers? You have to have the space and sometimes just take a moment, be like, how's this going to work out if I choose this? And if it doesn't feel super expansive and light, might not be your best choice. What else is possible? What else is possible beyond this? If I choose not this, what other things might show up? Because how many times do you think, well, this is the only thing to choose because this is what's here? Everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, poads, and beyonds. A long time ago, I created a Choose Light challenge. I think it's on YouTube. It's old video. And it's basically just taking several days, and every choice you make, whether it's, where to go to get a sandwich for lunch, or, what to put on, or whatever choices you're making, to choose what feels light and expansive. Because so many people are habituated towards those things that feel dense or contractive because it feels real or something. I don't know. But I've been making a practice of choosing light. Did you ever get into a taxi and it felt heavy? Usually something not so good happens when you do that. So you can always get out. You can always change your mind and choose something else. Same thing with getting into a relationship, or even going out to dinner and sitting down in a restaurant. If it doesn't feel light, get up and leave. You can do that. I used to totally embarrass my kids. We'd sit down and they'd be arguing, and there was a weird energy in the space. And I was like, I don't like it here. Let's go. And they'd be like, oh, you can't do that. They seated us. We can't leave. I'm like, yes, we can. Let's go. And as soon as we got out, we could breathe better. And we were like, oh, thank goodness. So what if you were willing to trust your awareness, to have it as your ally, and to not be afraid to follow what you know, even if nobody else gets it? It's a choice we can make. Oh, look at the hearts. I love that. Thank you. Yeah. So what else? Anywhere you are trying to block, shut off, turn down your awareness for any reason, will you destroy and uncreate that? right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, bovads and beyonds. And at the same time, as you increase your awareness, you also need to increase your allowance. And that's not the money that you give yourself every week. That's being interesting point of view. Because remember, in this dictionary, awareness is just simply the observing of something. It doesn't mean anything. So you can hear babies crying and it's not your baby. You don't need to handle it, but you're still going to hear it. If next door there's construction on their house, you're going to hear it, but it's not your house. You don't need to handle it. You don't need to pay for it. You don't need to do anything. You're just aware of it. So what you can do is increase your allowance, which is being interesting point of view. Oh, the baby's crying. Oh, there's construction next door. Okay, what do I choose? Maybe I'll go on vacation. Maybe I'll go out into nature. Maybe I'll just simply expand my being out and become so big that the noise next door doesn't bother me anymore. Maybe I can put the baby in a bell jar, energetically, not real. And all these different things that you can choose change the way you're handling your awareness, not turning it off. It's just occurring out there. You don't need to fix it. You can be aware of it and simply be aware of it. And everywhere you have a point of view about it, that will stick you. So, interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. And you can also just ask for your allowance to exceed your awareness. And that will help. So, oh my gosh, it's already been almost the full half hour. So I'd love to invite you to a couple of things that I have coming up. There is a clarity hour for September, and our topic is money. So all of our points of view that we've been hiding or defending or avoiding, we'll be clearing those and allowing more ease and flow with money. I also have a Symphony of Possibilities group taster, which I call Golden SOP. That's coming up this week. And we have a Talk to the Entities beginning class at the end of the month and a foundation in October. So I hope you'll join me. I hope you'll have more fun with your awareness. Keep turning it up. Keep asking for the channel of you. What is your energy? What are you choosing? What would it take to bring that energy to everything you do? Thanks for joining. I'll see you next time.